Hey, Diane.
And she does.
Okay, now we can start, now that Diane is there. Okay.
You're back.
The one on relationships does not show up.
Okay,
The slide looks good.
good.
You can see it good. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry about the delay, we had a little confusion, you know. After I left my stand back at my house, that's why I was sitting back in my trunk. It's laid over to the side, so wasted 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So today we're going to talk about fruitful of communicating with God and masters who are not in the physical body, like Jesus or Yogananda. And hopefully it'll be beneficial to everybody because I know it changed my life. Imagine, you got your best friends, your mom, dad. When you have an issue or somebody you talk to, somebody whose opinion you respect, who give you always good ideas, it's worthwhile. And you know how moms and dads and friends help out. Imagine talking to God. And it's not a figment of imagination, it can be done, scientific way. Just imagine, you remember the Old Testament? Abraham was talking to God all the time, and then he was asked to sacrifice his first son. And then last moment God said, no, don't do that. I was only testing you. So, right? And there are many other cases, like if you remember Samuel talking to Saul, King Saul, that you better straighten your ways or else God's leading you. And there are many other examples if you look through the Old Testament. And of course, Sunday morning, turn on the TV, there are many preachers who go, last night God told me this. We'll be really excited about it. He told me this, he likes Pepsi, not Coke. Or whatever the message is, But my question is, if they can talk, so can you. If one person can talk, I think everybody else got a chance. The only question is, where are the instructions? Very rarely they talk about the instructions. And we're going to get into the instructions. And I'm very grateful, one of the masters captured the instructions. His name is Yogananda. And I'm not selling him, I just go to this place for meditation, as written in a booklet. Gives out details how to communicate with God. Now, I met my spiritual mother in 1992. And she told me, I talk to him all the time. I said, how can you talk to a dead dude? He died in 1952. How can you talk to somebody who's dead? She said, no, only body's not here, but everything else is right around us. His mind, heart, and his spirit is right around us. Or else I don't believe you. He said, why didn't you believe me? I said, you got to prove it to me that you're talking to him. A couple of days later, I had a stomach ache. 2 o'clock in the morning, I ate something bad. Next morning, I went to my office. There's a message from her. I live in Rochester, she lives in Lincoln Park, 40 miles away. She left a message saying, and that message came at about 2:30. And how's your stomach now, baby? I hope you're feeling better. That was just the beginning. Like this, she said things out one after another, hundreds of things that about me only I knew, nobody else would have known. There's no way anybody could have known because I didn't tell anybody. She read them out left and right. So finally I said, okay, I got enough data. Can you please teach me how you do this? And she's the one who trained me. And basically, it's very simple. It's not really complicated. In a simple way, I would like to share with you. And those of you who have, unfortunately, this is the only booklet I have. But
Is
this
there some
booklet,
place we can go get it?
there's an SRF center in Southfield. And then you can also order it online.
Can I see that so I can read the name?
Sure,
of the
sure,
picture,
pass
then
it
just
around.
take a picture of it.
Yeah.
That way I
Yeah,
get
you
it.
can order it online also.
Here. Side
Uh,
right,
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do exactly what she said.
So-
take a picture of it, send it to me.
But I just wanna let you know, since he's my spiritual master, he has identified the principles. But being an engineer, I still have a lot of questions after this.
Must be.
Uh,
You guys send it around.
And some of my questions were, well, how do you know for sure? I know you have outlined the principles, but how do you know for sure that you are? And so based on that, then he gave me some more material, which was on top of this. And I get my material through meditations, you know. I see pictures and I get words and things like this. And that's what I've been capturing. Some of this material is just that. It's not from any of the book. I just want to let you know. Now this picture of monkeys was not given by him, by the way.
Was what?
This picture of monkeys or baboons, that was not given by him. That just, your spiritual family and your support system is right around you, you know? So, welcome, I appreciate you guys taking time today. You guys just wonderful, and I think we'll have a good time. Thinking. Oh, taking a long time. But think about it,
You have to redo it, it flashed off. There we go.
okay.
You know what? I think it's loose. I think it's loose.
Searching for source? What do you think is going on? Technical support. Okay, it should, auto adjustment process. It's doing some strange things.
Go
This is my
into
unique
view
thing.
if you can, and see on the top. There you go. Can you approach it a different way on the menu? Go to view, full screen?
Yeah.
View,
On the top, on the top, on the left, see the.
Are you doing the slideshow presentation?
what if I do this way? I'll just insert it this one as well.
Just click on each side.
Okay.
But then
We can see that.
you have to.
Yeah, okay, let's do it this way. Okay, basically think about, when you talk about communication, there are 4 stages. First, we talk about communicating with others. We talk to each other all the time. Then second is communicating with self. How well do we communicate with ourselves? How often do we talk to our bodies and minds and hearts? Then communicating with spirit. Well, you know, there are people who talk to angels and other beings. And the next stage is communicating with divine, which is past masters and God. Okay? Now, in communicating with others, we all know that some of the principles we follow are that the communication must always be clear, not garbled, you know? Sometimes people give you some indirect answers, that's not a good communication. It should be certain. I mean, somebody says something to you, what do you want, Coke or Pepsi? Ah, one of those. That's not an answer. What do you want? Because if you bring Dr. Pepper and they don't like it, then whose fault is that? So, a good communication is very certain, there's no guesswork involved. And it's always two-way. A lot of times, you know, people say things, oh, I told you so. That doesn't mean your idea got communicated. Communicated means it got received by other person give a clear signal that he or she got it. That's the complete cycle. So if I'm the communicator, my job is not done just because I blurted out something. I'm a bad communicator if I just say and move on, not wait for a clear signal from the other person that I got it.
That is huge.
Yes, that is huge.
Just have to say, that's huge.
Yes, because a lot of people are such bad communicators. They just say, well, I told you so. No, but they do not realize that people have tendencies to be involved in many things. You could be thinking about something else, or you're upset about something and you don't hear nothing, or you're distracted. So there are a lot of barriers to communication that we need to get over. We have to be protected from barriers, like emotions, distractions, misunderstandings. Words have so many different meanings. I'm a vegetarian, give me a veggie sandwich, but don't try to give me a veggie. You know? Or they put your underwear on. Two different things, right? It's very similar sounding words. Fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing. That's interesting, isn't it?
Fair chance and.
Pardon me?
Fair chance and.
Fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing. It's okay to roll in the grass, but rolling in hay is considered bad. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to throw down, but it's not okay to throw up. And, I mean, English being second language, for me, I got to do through a lot of thinking, so that's very interesting. Just because change of direction, it makes a totally different meaning. So, some way we help ourselves in improving communication, spoken word or written, text, letter, email, or a reminder. Hey, don't forget I told you this. Don't forget you're supposed to pick up my kid from the school. Right? Say yes. Then you got it.
So you're not, what you're saying is you are not done communicating until you understand who you're speaking with understands what you said.
Exactly.
So you're not done until you get a confirmation back to you.
Exactly. Until then, I am responsible. It's my responsibility. Because if you didn't do it, then I failed. I should own up to that. It's not up to you if I'm talking to you, because I have to make sure, because it's my job that needs to be done. That I have to make sure that you got it and I got the signal back. If not, I have to stop you. Wait, can you repeat what I just said?
Is that how you, is that one way of
That's
like
one way.
active listening?
Yes.
They're reflective.
Reflective.
Reflective
Thank you.
listening, reflective communication.
Can you bring that back to me? Can you tell me
Yes,
what I
yes.
just said
Because
to
just
you?
because somebody says one thing doesn't mean the other person understands it that way.
Exactly. Or how about written receipt on an email? Or if you're sending a letter to, this is text time, everybody's sending information to IRS. They can say they didn't receive it, not if you got a copy of written receipt. You know, it's, here it is. You got it, your man signed it. So, we can protect ourselves. It's just improve. Some ideas of improving communication. And these are some of the ideas. There's a lot of good information on the internet available for this topic. So, now communicating with self, with the body, mind, and heart. Can we learn how our body reacts to positive and negative emotions? Like joy, calmness, fear, anger, anxiety, guilt, shame. I noticed when I was worried, I used to worry, I'll shake my leg. You know? When I'm upset, then I lose my appetite. You know? And you will see that everybody, or when I'm really very anxious, I used to bite my nails. You know, everybody has different body reactions to different emotions. So this way you can find out, because a lot of times it's very interesting that we may be going through some subtle emotions and not even know. I mean, some obvious thing is very, very easy, like somebody got you upset and you're angry. Oh, I'm upset because she said this to me. But when it's something is undercurrent, it's everything looks okay, but why I feel like something wrong? That means something in your subtle field is bothering you. The only way you can find out is you can learn to communicate with your body. So what I'm saying is, please connect your body reactions to a particular emotion. You'll help yourself a lot. Be the observer of self. Look at your mind and heart as your employees. Best way I recommend is that imagine you're up there. Look down on yourself from top. See top of your head, and you see your heart is here, and your mind is here. Remember, they work for you. They're your employees. So you gotta train them like dogs. Your heart should not be open, running around everywhere like a wild child, because then you're gonna get in trouble. Your feelings are gonna be hurt all the time. Your heart space is like your bedroom. Not everybody is allowed. Not just open the door and come on in. Go to my bedroom. You don't say that to anybody. So same way, you must protect your heart space. And mind's job is to protect your heart. Mind's the person who goes to the front door, looks to the people. Who are you? What do you want? Let me see your badge. Or point Smith and Wesson at him. Or call the cops. Depending on how bad the situation is. Or if it's your friend, they say, no problem, come on in. If it's your mom, no problem. But if it's a mother-in-law, that's a different story. Right? Right? So we can train our mind and heart. Always keep your heart close to yourself. It's not a good idea to open your. There is a misunderstanding in a lot of people. They think you're supposed to love everybody. Loving everybody has nothing to do with your heart space. It's your inner conditioning that when you go in the spirit, you will love everybody unconditionally. You cannot stop it if you want to. But your heart space is a sacred bedroom space. Not everybody's allowed, only well-tested people. And it doesn't matter if it's your family. Because if your family member is not acting like a normal, healthy family member, don't let him into your bedroom space. Please treat him like an outsider. And you'll be okay. So, it's interesting, you can talk to your mind like an adult, but not to your heart. Heart you have to talk like a child. You want a little candy? Okay, calm down, baby. You know, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Because I've tried to be hard with my mind, but the heart, it doesn't work. It never works. That gentle part of you, tender part of you, you have to be like a child. Your baby, you love it like a child, and then you'll see it will respond very well. And why am I saying communicate with self? Because what happens is, way to God is knowing through yourself. If you don't know yourself, you have very little chance that you're going to know God. So that's some of the tools. Communicating with the spirit world, angels and beings. And I know a lot of people talk, but some people have used Ouija boards, talking to beings from other planets, realms, and angels. And that may be a good kind of entertainment, but it's a very risky idea. Because what happens is, you're opening a spirit space, and you go out there, you don't know what kind of people are out there in the space. And if you're not well trained, you're not strong enough, guess what? Some of these entities, negative entities, will jump on you, and suddenly you'll have health problems, or you got all kind of, You can be distracted, angry, go do some crazy destructive things. And we have met people, there are and many people in this room who have met people like that. Not a good idea. So I strictly suggest that please you don't want to go that way. If you want to communicate with somebody divine who's totally positive and powerful, it's probably a good idea to pray to angels, but my point is why don't you go something more powerful if you have an option? Why don't you pray to Jesus? He can send thousands of angels to protect you. You know, you have a better chance. Because there are negative entities more powerful than angels. There's some negative entities who eat hundreds of angels for breakfast. Seriously.
She has a question.
Yes, please.
What about guardian angels? I believe we each have a guardian angel from birth to death that has been given to us by God.
No, they are good. I'm not saying that angels, guardian angels, archangels, they are all wonderful beings. They have to help us. But we also need to understand the power structure. Like, guardian angel can never be more powerful than Jesus Christ or Holy Spirit. That's all I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, keep the guardian angel, keep the angels, but don't just rely on them. You're better off going to Jesus Christ or somebody as powerful than have your guardian angels and angels, because they send them out to help us anyway. Does it make sense?
Because they what? Sent us?
So, I mean, they send those people to help us out anyway.
Well, I thought so.
Yes.
And that's why I thought we are to go to them.
No, what I'm saying don't be limited to that.
Oh,
And can I
no.
give an example of that?
Yeah.
For example, I don't know if you've heard of Janine Virtue.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
She's angels all the time. She's books about angels. But you have to be careful because it can turn into like angel worship, like you can get distracted. She goes into great detail about honor angels. And it's good to know about all the different types of archangels.
Hierarchy?
Yeah, but you just don't want to get distracted and just stay only on that, because actually, in reality, you are sent angels. So you can just go to the higher source and need it. Like, some people pray for an angel to find things, some people pray for an angel for this, for that, for that. But if you're not careful, you can just get distracted and just stay in that space instead of expanding continually. So does that help out, or?
Well, yeah, but I never put all that on them. Can I ask a question
Sure,
about
sure.
a guide or angel at
Sure.
this point?
This is a family meeting. This is not a lecture. Right?
In my channeling and my healing work, I saw, like I was channeling for a woman, and I saw at her house what I called centurions. I just named them. I don't know if they gave me that name. And I've seen different angels and archangels. I call them Mikey, Gabe, and Al, lovingly. Archangel Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael work with me. But I saw like these tall, dressed in black, standing in the backyard and standing on her house. And I've seen them not very often, and I felt that they were guardians of property. And I called them centurions, I think is what I called them. I don't know where that came from. But I'm wondering, since we're talking about angels for a moment, does anybody know exactly who they are?
Yes,
You
in
know,
fact,
don't you?
My daughter has told me she sees angels too. She sees a lot of things. She sees it. One of those angels always standing behind you. All the time.
Louder, Sandra, louder.
Okay. My daughter says she sees like spiritual things. So she sees one of those angels standing behind me all the time. She described it just as you described it. So we have them. They're there. But
I just wonder,
Yeah, so-
where in the,
they're there, but the thing is, when she says it to me, I'm like, oh, well, that's good. And I just keep on going. Because I don't want to say, oh, wow, what does it look like? Or does it have a breastplate? Like, I don't go into detail of it. Because
right,
I don't wanna get distracted on that. I've even felt, I have felt it myself too. But you just have to be careful. That's all I was just trying to say earlier, that, just acknowledge that we do have that, and that's totally purely awesomeness, you know? But we just gotta be careful that we don't get caught up into
that level only.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
get that.
I mean, we gotta be grateful to them, we gotta be thankful to them. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to have that support and affirmation, you know? That's wonderful.
Not very often.
Yeah.
I
No,
haven't
that's
seen it
good.
very often, and I just wondered, because I know I probably could look it up in the realms of the Catholic Church, because they seem to document levels and all
Yeah.
that. I just wondered.
I've actually felt this, the strength of it, the still strength, just the pure strength of it. So when she says
It is a different angelic being,
Mhm,
Yes.
definitely. It is
Yes.
different.
mhm.
Yes.
I'm sure they have a certain work or certain area
Yeah,
they deal in.
that's why the area is very specified area they help you. Like, for example, if you have read a little bit about India, they got like 30 million gods. And I said, come on, they can't all be gods. Most of them are angels and them are gods. God is only one. It's just like water, you know, you just call it by 100 different names, but you're talking about same water. And so the idea here is only to also be aware of the power factor. You know, if you have somebody with a lot more horsepower on your side, I think you got a better chance. And angels have certain power, archangels have more power, like that. There's a hierarchy, as you mentioned. Very good. Good comments. So, communicating with divine, which is past masters, you know, what I mean by that is like people who don't have a physical body. And so the skills and know-how from stage one and two, which is like learning to how to communicate with others and self, are necessary to be able to succeed in this stage. Because if somebody is bad communicator, he can't even talk to somebody, ordinary human being, how is he going to talk to God? The same principles work there. These are skill sets we need. I mean, if you can cook one thing, you can cook 10 more things, if you know how to work in the kitchen, so to speak. Now, be still and know that I am God. That's what's said in Psalm 46:10. And it's a hint being given. And in the temple of silence and temple of peace, I shall meet thee and I shall greet thee. That's a song written by Yogananda, repeating the same thing. What he's talking about is, please be silent on the inside. Because you might be surprised, actually, God is talking to us all the time. But only thing we don't listen. And also, other thing I want to bring out to your attention is, when somebody dies, what do you think happens? Think about you, if you take your hand like this and put it on the side, each one of us has got 4 dimensions: physical body, mind, a heart, and spirit. We got 4 dimensions. Now, each of the dimensions has a power. Body has power of 1, mind has power of 10, heart has power of 100, and spirit has power of 1,000. So your total power is 1,111. When somebody dies, only one part is missing. 1,110 is still out there, right around us, in the space. So, when you talk about masters, or even you talk about your old relatives, they're right around. Only thing is physical body is not there. If you know how to communicate with them, not a problem. I know a lot of people communicate here. I know she communicates a lot. Her name is Ellen Mara. She's looking busy right now. She communicates. Yes, yes. And I know she communicates. He communicates. I know you communicate. I know you communicate, right? Yes, you do. Haley communicates. So if some others are not pointed out, don't be offended. You know, those people I know that they communicate. Successful. A lot of proof. A lot of proof. So, what does it really mean? Communicate with divine. It's just like using a cell phone. Everybody's got a cell phone, right? Think of just using a cell phone. If you know God's number, all your problems are solved. Hey God, I'm stuck in New York. I don't know if I should make left turn or right turn.
I'm gonna ask Google to call that for me one day. So,
Right?
I'm gonna see what Google says.
Yeah, yeah, and you'll be surprised. Oh, tomorrow's tax work is due tomorrow. I can't find my papers. Guess what happened to me yesterday? I've been looking for some tax papers for a long time. Finally, I said, why didn't I pray about it? And yesterday I was just praying and said, you know, dear God, you know where the papers are. Because in my mind, I'm looking for a brown envelope, you know, with the thing markings on it. I look for it everywhere. I know where you know where the papers are. Would you please guide me to that? And for no reason at all, I go home and go in my garage and I'm looking around and I see a plastic bag. I said, what's in it? Guess what it was?
In the garbage?
No, it's just a grocery bag, you know?
Okay.
Papers were in there. I put it in there and forgotten about it. So, you'd be surprised. I mean,
Prayer is very-
really, I mean, you prove it to yourself that you are communicating.
Yeah.
It works. So, number one, you have to stay charged. If the cell phone has got no batteries, you cannot communicate with anybody.
Question.
Which means,
By stay charged, I understand it on a cell phone perspective. What do you mean by us being charged? Like,
first, rule number one, stay alive. Right? And number two, stay focused and devoted and sincere. Because if you stay focused on God, God-centered, then you basically stay charged. You know, be connected in spirit with Him. And then number two, be silent and be noise-free. Because if you got a lot of noise on the phone, then you will not hear the other person's voice. But before you can become noise-free, you have to know what causes noise.
What
Right?
causes them?
Before you can remove the noise, you need to know what are the root cause for the noise. What's making the noise? Then, at that point, you can identify and remove the cause of noise, which is basically presence of endless desires. Because what happens, imagine me going around, I need this, 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 I need this. All day I'm doing it. Have you met some people like this? Always hungry. Always wanting this, I want 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 this. Always looking for attention. Hungry for something. You never can sit down and say, okay, I got everything. I'm calm. Because what you're doing is you're causing a lot of noises inside of you, a lot of distraction, a lot of ripples in the lake of your silence. You're causing a lot of ripples because of all that. And it's not that it's wrong to have desires. I'm saying, okay, if you need something, get it fulfilled and come back and be calm. But know that when you have those noises, you're not going to be able to hear. Only when you are sitting calmly. It's okay, all my needs are met today. I'm calm and relaxed. I'm not worried. I'm not anxious that, oh, I need this, or how am I going to get this? The presence of unresolved problems. That's the biggest source of noises. Think about it for a second. Let's say we ask each one of you to meditate. Meditate on whichever aspect of divine you believe in. Close your eyes. And I go with a sharp pencil, poke it off. Right away your attention goes where? Where your toe is, right? Immediately. If I go poke an arm, her attention goes down right away. That's how we are built and designed. We go where the problem is. Our mind and attention goes where the problem is. So how can I be communicating with him, I'm trying to talk constantly about it like this. I'm going like this, all these things poking at me all the time. And that's what's internally happening to us. If we go through 4.5 billion processes per second. Oh, it's too hot, too hot. Oh, I need synthesis hormones. Oh, this chemistry, this needs to be digested. This needs to be, oh, blood needs to be circulated. If you count all this 4.5 billion processes, they make a lot of noise. The idea is to kind of eat the kind of food that you're not disturbed and feeling heavy or sickly later on. That's the idea of having food to stay calm. If you have some issue, solve them and have a clean plate. You'll be better off. Because if you have an issue, try to meditate, you can't. Because you have all kinds of thoughts bothering you. This will happen, what will happen. If you're afraid that you're going to be laid off, how can you sit down and relax? But maybe what you can do is sit down and think about it. Geez, if I get laid off, what will I do? I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Bounce it off with your friends and buddies and family. Okay, if it happens, we're going to do this. If it doesn't happen, I'm fine. Then chances are you may be able to relax a little bit more. But imagine getting to a stage when you say every day, I have no issues. I can say today, I have no issues, zero. My taxes are done. That was my biggest issue. You know? Because this I learned from automotive engineering. Automotive engineering at my work. I worked at GM for 34 years almost. They are extremely skillful and good at solving problems. 40 people are sitting here, somebody says, okay, what's the problem? He said, this is the problem, what do you think is the solution? And there are other 50 people all over the country, all over the world, watching at the same time. We said, what's the solution? Well, we could do this. So he comes out, he said, what about that? Oh, I didn't think about it. Can you tell me some more? Yeah, okay. Maybe you can come up with a solution. So what I'm saying is, the professional world, if you look, and all of you are professionals, you see at work, nobody insists that he has got to solve all the problems by himself. If it's a computer problem, call the IT guy. The financial thing, go talk to the finance guy. If it's a human resource problem, talk to the HR expert. Don't we all do that? But when it comes to our personal issues, we all just drop the ball. Oh my God. What am I going to do? Sky is falling. We just go bring it. And that's what I was guided. Please, can you use the same system for handling of personal issues? Did the learn. Such a simple thing. Changed my life. You know, I used to carry a Franklin planner. Since 1988 in my life. He said, use it for 21 days. After 21 days, you won't be able to quit if you want to. That's what happened. I never did. Well, the only thing what happened is, I used to go every get my refill for $35, $40.